The Red Bull Rant is a free-flowing conversation about soccer that may include adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Red Bull Rant. I'm Jason Ipico. Before we start the show, I'd like to make a...
Whoops.
You forgot about that, huh?
Yeah.
Before we start, I'd like to make a quick announcement.
Equality on the Red Bull Rant here.
Solid start.
Last week, we were lucky enough to have on Alexi Lawless, and as most of you will probably agree, that was a pinnacle moment for our show. This week, unfortunately, we dropped back down to earth with our most frequent guest of the rant, Zach Wassink.
Wow. I have nothing to say after that introduction. Thanks. The quality has dropped dramatically in the last week, and I apologize for that. No, I don't.
Well, yeah, we've already clusterfucked the intro, so we're good to go.
Yeah, we've already.
And the first
right
F-bomb wasn't even dropped by me, so.
Oh, by the way, Pat's here, I'm here, and this is episode 46. Get Yo Bib On. There, done.
So we're doing this show after the United States goes to Honduras, loses the game, ugly 2-0 loss with a goal that should never have happened, with pretty much the back line not doing their fucking job. So let's get right into it. Pat, what do you think about the game yesterday?
It sucked. There's no doubt about that. It was a sucky loss, but as I wrote today on Empire Soccer, that's all it was. It just sucked. It's not the end of the world. I think it sucks a little more because it was the first World Cup qualifier, but for everyone who's going all doom and gloom, they need to chill out. Yeah, there were definitely the problems. The back line fell asleep, but again, just to reiterate my piece, what did you expect with two new guys in the back line, Chandler and Gonzalez? I mean, it's going to happen. There's going to be growing pains, but at the same time, Klinsmann has to make a move to the future. Bocanegra cannot be starting in 2014. So yeah, it's going to happen, unfortunately. And it's just, hey, look, don't forget, Honduras is a cauldron. It's the murder capital of the world. So it sucks. That's it. It's not the end of the world. It's not time to panic. If they lose to Costa Rica and Denver, all right, I'll hit the panic button. But until then, I think they'll be fine. They're going to go to Brazil. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you kind of stole my thunder. I was going to say the one positive is no one was killed before or after the game.
We don't know that. Is everyone accounted for?
I'm hoping.
I mean, if Emmanuel Adebayor can't get from Africa to London in like 5 days, I'm not taking anything for granted until we know everyone's back and safe.
Yeah, I figured as long as no one was killed, we're good. The other results were pretty good. Honduras was really the only team that won. So Mexico drew. Mexico couldn't even score.
At home, mind you. At home,
So that makes me feel good. So nothing to panic about. Yeah, it sucks. There was actually nobody playing the back line, but get a couple wins, after this, everyone will be happy.
Pat and I we didn't at all, maybe one or two Twitter interactions yesterday. We didn't speak about the game, and we largely said the same thing in our articles. The one point that I think we'll differ on, Bocanegra is not going to play in the World Cup in 2014, and that's fine and all. But you got to get to 2014, and he's playing next month. And I think that's a gimme. I don't think there's any. He's playing at least one game next month, if not both. And the one thing that I think is very that I found interesting is multiple people from very different ends of the soccer spectrum are very much so convinced that if the U.S. don't get at least 3 points in March, we got to seriously look at Klinsmann being gone before summer. Because yeah, look, a lot happened on Wednesday. It's not time to panic. After the loss, things essentially went our way, but this can quickly get out of hand. This was always going to be a difficult game, the Honduras, absolutely. But you look at Costa Rica and Mexico. Mexico should have lost to Jamaica. If you watch that game easily could have been 2-0, 2-1. And the fact that they picked up a point, you figured that's their bad one. So next month, if Mexico that played yesterday play against the U.S. team that played yesterday, we're not getting a draw there. I'll tell you that right now. Our back line was atrocious. That was the worst U.S. back line I can remember seeing. Nobody had anything redeemable about that. And quite frankly, Tim Howard was not brave enough and was not big enough on the second goal, so you can even go to him. It's not time to panic, but it's definitely time to look at this lineup. And it's time for Klinsmann to realize he hasn't figured it out, and he needs to work. Most importantly, what he needs to do is really watch his players over the next month and put together a formation that fits them, as opposed to creating tactics that he hopes his players will fall into. He did this before last decade. It didn't work. It's the reason he was out of a job. But he's got more than a month. He's got time. It's been over a year. So, and one final thing, the Landon Donovan people, get over it. They wouldn't have won yesterday if Donovan was in the team. And if you think otherwise, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's not the savior of this freaking team, that's for sure.
I mean, I think Donovan will be back. I think, he's not going to retire. He'll be back at some point. But it's like everyone's like, oh, he would have made a difference. Really? When's the last time he played soccer? Like, you really think he'd be in better form than the other MLS players who are out there? I don't think so. Yeah. But to your point about Bocanegra, I really don't. I mean, I think Steve Davis wrote a good piece about how the guy is now a part-time player at a last-place team in second division Spain. I just don't see how you can put him in there. I think you have to stick with the youngster. He didn't have a Tim Ream bad game. He had a Jeff Cameron bad game, which, Cameron...
he had a bad game, man.
Definitely
I'm
don't
sorry.
think
I disagree with you. He should have done better on both goals, first of all. And the second one was his biggest mistake, but I don't think the first goal was even his second biggest mistake. I think he had a nightmare. I can't think of one time when I looked at him back there and thought, okay, he's getting that. Nah, I was not impressed.
Yeah, I definitely think he made a couple of nice stops here and there. The first goal, which I don't think the corner kick should have ever happened, because Bradley made a sloppy clearance there that Chandler then fumbled. But then who saved the day from it? At least going at that point, it was Omar Gonzalez. He kicked it out because it was his only option. I definitely, like I said, I don't think he was Tim Ream bad. I think he was more when Jeff Cameron first came on bad, and I definitely think he's got a future.
Oh, he's got a future, but you got to get to that future.
Yeah,
This is it. This is not time for trialists anymore. This is where you prove at your young national team age if you can hack it. And if you can't, the weather, blah blah blah. What do you think it's going to be at Estadio Azteca next month? Think it's going to be 55 degrees? It's going to be muggy. You're going to be playing in the altitude, and if you can't handle that situation and you can't handle the pressure that comes with a World Cup qualifier there, then you're not going to be able to hack it against our bitter rivals, against a team that's much better than we are, because let's face it, the first-choice Mexican team is better than the first-choice United States team. It's all about possession and containing and hoping to pick up a point. And the friggin' lineup that took the pitch yesterday ain't picking up a point at Estadio Azteca. They're not.
Yeah. I mean, the plus is that, Omar Gonzalez will be... He'll have a month under his belt of regular playing time come March 21st, 22nd. I forget what it is.
Yeah, and don't forget, LA is in the the Champions League right now, so he'll have not just MLS experience, but he will have experience against other teams in CONCACAF. So that should hopefully help him a lot when it comes to the U.S. men's team. What do you guys think of the news of Steve Trundle undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery this week, and what most likely means Timmy Chandler staying in the lineup?
Timmy can't play worse than he played yesterday.
Exactly.
So there you go. I'm honestly, like, that's not even me trying to be funny. He was there was one point in the second half where I was just talking with a buddy joking, and we both made the same joke at the same time that, man, I could beat him today. He was just, oh. So there you go. Timmy can't play. Maybe his mind was still in Germany, but bring it back home now, and I have faith that he'll be fine, but, oh, yuck.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help that the young kids get thrown right into a pretty hostile environment in 90-degree weather. It's like, oh, by the way, here's you're starting one of your first games. Oh yeah, it's a horrible place. People get killed. It's hot as hell. You were just playing where it's freaking cold. Not the greatest place to actually start your national team career.
Yeah, I think Chandler come around. If not, I think Eric Leahigh's there in the pike. They could possibly use him. I think the same problem with Bocanegra is with Trundle. I mean, Trundle, I remember reading after the South Africa World Cup, everyone thought he was retiring. So, I mean, nobody should be shocked that this could be the end of his national team career. I think we'll see him on the field one more time, but, I wouldn't. Just like Bocanegra, you want to get away from him for 2014.
How long is he going to be out? Trundle?
Right now, there's no set timetable for his return.
Okay.
I think it's estimated at least a month, though. So that means he has to miss the. Actually, no, he wouldn't necessarily miss the 2 qualifying games, but you'd imagine he wouldn't be informed for those. So.
Right.
All right, let's shift topics to the Red Bulls, and the news this week is Kenny Cooper, the 18 goal scoring Kenny Cooper, is no longer with the New York Red Bulls. He was traded to FC Dallas for reportedly $200,000 of allocation money. Before I let you guys give your thoughts, if you listen to, and Dave, pay attention to how I do this, if you listen to Seeing Red this week, they had Mike Pecky on, and he said that this was absolutely not a soccer move. This was a financial move. He said if they didn't make this move, they would not have any room under the cap to go out and get a third DP or get any other player this year. So they would have been, I think he said there was maybe 20 players on the rosters right now. So that means we would have 20 players going into the season, and obviously that wasn't going to work. So, Zach, since you're the guest, we'll let you go first on this one.
Well, the Cooper thing, I mean, I'd heard back in December they were shopping him, and it was just a matter of time. The money is a big issue, and, not for nothing, but for some reason, whatever it was, and, there's the rumors that it's Thierry Henry, and maybe it was, and maybe it wasn't, or it's just the fact that he gets paid over $300,000 a year. Cooper has this reputation as being a guy who finds the back of the net almost by accident. He's not physical enough. He doesn't create his own chances. He goes through summer swoons. He's just one leg injury away from being retired. And I'm not saying that all of those are actually true, but perception's reality. And these are the MLS perceptions that go around the league on this guy, and it's why he isn't settled anywhere. I like Kenny Cooper, and I can't remember what journalist it was who said, Cooper gets to go back to Dallas, where the only place that he's actually been loved by the fans. I don't remember Red Bulls fans booing Kenny Cooper off the pitch ever. I remember them appreciating him and making banners for him and, really, really being all about the guy who, I don't know, led the team in goals. So I do appreciate how, the guys on Seeing Red brought it up too, that you've got to replace 18 goals now, and they haven't done it yet. It's not March. We'll see what the front office is going to do between now and then. Obviously, there's summer transfer, but if it is about Henry, I can respect that. If Henry can and create chances, dropping back as he does, and if he can score more than he did last year. But if he doesn't, and no one else makes up for it, and your third DP ends up being a goalkeeper again or something very disappointing, this is going to be another year where Red Bulls don't win nothing.
Yeah, you kind of stole the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, like, they better have a plan. Like they can't, like, just like you said, goalkeeper. They can't bring in another Frank Ross with their third DP. There better be somebody that's like a la Henry in 2010. There better be someone there they have some behind the scenes verbal agreement with that they're coming in the summer or whatever, because otherwise it's just going to be a real bad move. That being said, watching the friendly today, Espindola and Henry look kind of good together. It was just a preseason friendly against Malmo FF, but he'll be missed. There's no doubt about it. Again, to echo your point, the fans, I think, hated him when he came in here and did things slower than Kenny Cooper in that preseason game last year, and then after that, it was nothing but good feelings and good times. And it's a bummer to see him gone. I mean, I hope when he comes back to Red Bull Arena, we all give him a nice little warm welcome.
You know what the real balls about this is? He was making $300,000, and I was like, "Oh, that's too much money."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, MLS, you're so fantastic.
Yeah.
$300,000. Oh, professional athlete? Yeah, no, sorry, we got to get rid of him. And honestly, I think that's. Please, Red Bulls, go get some midfielders with this money.
Yeah, right.
That's all I'm asking for. Get some midfielders. If we're holding out until the summer window, oh boy, you better already have a guy ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing. Change your financials, MLS. Come on, raise the damn salary cap.
We're not asking for anything crazy, but I mean, when a guy's making $300,000, he's well respected. He's a good guy. The only guy I doesn't like is Thierry Henry. $300,000. We had to get rid of him.
Well, what I want to know is, if we can't afford this $300,000, what are we paying some of these other guys? I mean, I know the union releases the salary figures, but that won't be for a few months. But who are we paying that we can't afford to keep a guy that contributed 18 goals last year? And it's just.
Well, nobody. Look at the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, they just gave Dax McCarty a big pay raise, and it's not like he's drawing in bank. I mean, the third DP, if that's what this is really about, it really better be something special, because I mean, they're not, we don't know. I don't know what 2013 is, but the Red Bulls had the highest team salary last year. But, obviously DP rules and blah, blah, blah. You dropped a lot of money with Marquez. Cahill's not breaking the bank. I don't know why money is such a big issue right now, other than the new front office. All those guys are known for doing this. They're known for cutting guys that they think are overpaid, trying to keep a budget and win with that. And it's early yet. We don't know what this team with Petke and our new overlords are going to achieve. So I'm not going to say that they're incompetent or they don't know what they're doing. And they do have a history of success, but early on, I mean, I'm not disappointed, but I'm not overjoyed by what I've seen.
I'll say this too. We're losing his 18 goals, but I absolutely think the Red Bulls will still be scoring a lot of goals this year. I think Tim Cahill, who's gonna, he's starting with the club this year. He's coming in game one. I think they will have enough players to actually score goals.
And I will say, I mean, the first thing they do after they get rid of Kenny Cooper is, give that extension and that pay raise to Dax McCarty. I mean, who can argue with that? So, it's, again, like you said, not disappointed. We'll see what happens.
Dax McCarty not good enough for DC. Ha! You idiots! Yeah, you fools.
We ended up winning that trade.
Or the U.S. men's national team, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
In the long run, that probably works out better for us. I mean, you have him
true.
not going to play international duty, so. And Petke did talk about using some of the money to go after a depth player to actually sit behind Dax. So hopefully that'll help a lot, depending on who they get. Another part of what was talked about on Seeing Red, I think it was Mark who said you have to think about it this way. Cooper was making, I think it was 350 to 375 this year, and there was actually and since they traded him now, they don't have to pay him that salary. So you take that, add the 200,000 allocation, and you're talking $500,000 worth of cap space. So to dump 350, 375 and to gain another 200 from a financial point of view, that's an amazing job. Now, whether they can go out and get somebody great with that money, we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But you got to admit that, at least from a financial point of view, that they did an amazing job with what they got back for him.
Yeah, no, I can't argue. Can't argue with that at all.
Yeah, I don't think this is the Bob Kraft crew. I think they're actually going to spend money. If they don't, then it's going to be a failure.
I mean, I'd be surprised though if they spend the amount of money that the old regime did. I think that's part of the reason that these specific guys were brought in, to not blow $8 million on Thierry Henry and Rafa Marquez.
Yeah.
And we're not getting a designated player in March, so it just, again, it's fine right now, but I would really like to see a much more full roster over the next few weeks. You're not bringing these academy guys, aren't opening the season against DC.
I think what we're going to see is a very thin bench to start the year.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, obviously not player-wise, but talent-wise, I think it's very, very thin.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're not playing on any kind of artificial turf before the season starts.
So I haven't watched a lot of preseason games, but I know, Pat, you said you watched the one today. Do any of you watch the first one against Columbus? And if so, what did you guys think of the team and how it looks so far?
I thought Kenny Cooper's goal against Columbus. Oh wait.
Kenny Cooper.
Too bad he was never loved by Red Bulls fans. Never appreciated as one of our own.
No one liked that guy. Yeah, I didn't get to watch the Columbus game. Like I said, I got to watch the second half of today's game, and that was a hodgepodge of backups and reserve players, and it was fun hearing Pikey yell all the time. That was awesome.
That was fascinating. Yes.
Yeah, he was tremendous.
Like, Lloyd, come over here, Lloyd. It was great. Yeah, and
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I didn't really see the Columbus match. I watched the 2 goals in that one. Today was interesting. Janino only played about a half hour. He looked all right. He actually, made a nice couple of tackles, which was kind of interesting considering we brought him in to be that number 10. That one goal between Espindola and Thierry Henry was promising. And if I'm going to give a little shout out to someone who probably, I admit will probably not see a lot of playing time, is one of the new kids. Was it Mondo Moreno, right? That's his name. He had one nice goal. Nearly got a brace at the end. He looked tenacious, and hopefully there's more of that, more where that came from. That's really all I can say. And then we beat the Swedes. It's very cathartic.
Take that, Baka. I also
We'll be doing their TV recap.
I like seeing Wooly on the sideline. That was always nice to see.
All right, so for the rest of the preseason matchups for New York, next Wednesday the 13th, they'll be taking on. Will be started the Desert Diamond Cup hosted by FC Tucson. They'll be taking on Salt Lake on the 13th at 9 p.m. The 16th, which is Saturday, will take on the Revs at 8 p.m. On the 20th, which is the Wednesday, take on Seattle at 9. And then the 23rd, which is Saturday, they'll have their first, second, and third, fourth games. And all those will be streamed on MLSsoccer.com, so if you don't worry about trying to find it on TV because it won't be there.
No. You'd be lucky if like your public access channel would show those games.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we open up the phone lines?
Before we kick Zach out of here. I don't really have any much. I mean, it's so tough because there's really not much going on. I mean, what the hell are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
You know, Dax, yay, Kenny, boo, preseason game, meh. I just wrapped up the whole week.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
America, sigh.
Yeah, America.
Sadness.
Hmm. There's got to be something funny. Before I can't think of anything even. It's just been kind of a week like that. Only 2 days of games. I mean,
Yeah, no one's kicked the ball boy this week. You know, I mean, it's depressing.
the lives really.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything.
All right.
All right, so fuck it. Let's get these lines open. Zach, you're gonna stick around and answer a phone if anyone calls, i.e. Jimmy Cates.
Yeah, I've got a few minutes. I can answer it, promise.
All right, fuck it. Let's get the lines open. See who's man enough to call.
All right. So our calls
Who's got the
973.
grapes?
I like someone on the Ustream asking about the Viking Army rebranding. I actually thought the same thing. That's funny. What will they keep up the? Because wasn't it originally Hans Bach's Viking Army, and then they just shortened it?
Yep.
Yep. And
I
I
mean-
can tell you they're not changing it this year because I got my 2012 or 2013 membership packet and it says Viking Army on the scarf. So
I'm holding out for whatever supporters group bids the most.
Just change it. Just change the name to All Things Scottish, and if it's not Scottish, it's crap.
I was just saying, I mean, like I said in the stream, just put a kilt on that Viking costume and we're good to go.
Yeah.
all right,
Andy
we
Ross
got our
Viking
first
Army.
first phone call 732. Welcome to Bull Rant.
Go fuck yourselves, the lot of you.
I will.
Alrighty then.
What's going on, boys? It's the King of all Red Bull podcast. Tim Ball.
exactly who that was, and it was awesome.
Bow down to the king of New York Red Bull podcast.
King of all.
Awesome.
Town and boys. Zach, go fuck yourself. Like twice.
I
Like I
love you.
got everybody the first time, but I just wanted to double back and get you the second time. So go fuck yourself.
I can't wait till March and when we can talk at least once a week again, Tim. I miss you like the deserts miss the rain, man.
I think what Tim's saying right now is he will not be bidding for Zach's services in the supporters club.
Well, I won't to make it to the football factory thing on Saturday because Hoboken will be under snow.
Yeah, just, well, while we're talking about it, hey everybody, the Empire Supporters Club membership drive, scheduled for Saturday, February 9th, 4 p.m., at the Football Factory at Legends, 6 West 33rd Street, in the heart of Manhattan. We are watching the weather. Do stand by if you were planning to come out. We don't want anybody to jeopardize their health and well-being, so pay attention to your emails and Facebooks and Twitters and all of that. Thank you.
You know, what you should do is invite Roy Miller to it and tell him he has to drive there. Maybe something bad happens on the way.
Not
you know.
nice.
Maybe a little leg injury. Nothing fatal, just a little
Are you
knock.
gonna rig a car accident that he just hurts his leg? That would be
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. Just a little knock, that's all. A 6-month knock.
Who knows if he hurt his leg, might fix his game.
Yeah, nice little knee surgery might affect the angle of shot he takes. So you might be onto something there.
You know what I like most about this phone call? Tim never introduced himself.
He doesn't need to.
And Jay never said, "Who is this?"
I
We
did
just
ask
got
who is
curse
this.
words, and we went right into it.
I don't need to be introduced, so people know who the fuck I am. I get by on reputation nowadays. I'm 30. I can't go like I
And-
used to.
And on top of all this, I think he's dropped more F-bombs than we have in this whole show combined.
Well,
I
I mean,
think
that's
so.
what I bring to the table. I do one thing, and I do it really well.
Untrue.
And
You drop the curse words and you abuse me very well. So you do two things very well, sir.
one cares. Shut up.
This is what Tim says to me
Ah,
yesterday
almighty.
during the U.S. game. Someone asked me a question and I responded, and he just yells at me. No one cares. I just looked at him like, wait, what?
No, it's bad news because I finally figured out what Zach looks like, and that I've seen him 8 trillion times, just never registered it. So now I see him, and now I know who to yell at. So it's just all downhill from here. And the new guy, Jim Porterhouse,
John.
whatever his name is on the
Yeah.
football factory.
He's a
Jim
steak.
Porterhouse sounds about right. He was there yesterday at Legends and came up and introduced himself to me. Oh, don't do that. Certainly not, because now I'm just going to yell at him as well. Apparently, he obviously hasn't listened to the podcast at all, because I'm just yelling at people, and it makes everything better.
You yelled at him on the podcast, actually, and he still
Well,
didn't.
yeah, he's the new guy.
He's the new boy.
You yell at the new guy.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a job that ever required you to do manual labor, and something got screwed up, and you're not the new guy, well, guess who's getting blamed? The new guy. So just yell at the new guy, and things just generally work out. I'm glad that we're talking about football right now. This is good.
Well, someone in the chat room actually brought up a thing about it's okay if Roy Miller sits on the bench if Barklage and Lade can be healthy. Does anyone not want Connor Lade on defense?
No, midfield. No.
Thank you.
No. His future is not as a right or left back. Absolutely not. When he moves overseas in a couple years, he ain't going to be playing fullback there either. So he's a midfielder. Fine with this. No.
Thank you. I'm just trying to emphasize the point.
I'll give you this. You could make the argument that Connor Lade shouldn't even be on the field based on what we saw today, because this is a very high pressure offense and a very high line that Mr. Petke is playing right now, and I think you could make the case at least that you could find two wing backs left and right, and 2 outside midfielders that are better than Connor Lade is right now for this offense.
Yeah, I'd agree
you're
with
right.
that.
See, that was in-depth, researched, intelligent, opinionating. You're welcome. Go fuck yourselves again.
Captivating.
I would definitely agree with that. I would definitely think he's higher on the defensive depth chart than the midfield depth chart on this specific team.
Yeah, we won't judge him too harshly. We're only 2 games into the preseason, and no one's really doing too much. It's not that exciting right now. You just want to get your legs warm and don't get hurt. And that's about it.
Well, okay, so if Lade sits, let's just, you leave him as that second half option as Henri likes him, then who's occupying the back and the midfield?
Great question. Who knows?
Because I'm right now I'm just thinking, and I'm not,
Well, what about Jolin Pair? Oh, that's right. No. No. Yep. Couldn't afford him either. I keep forgetting.
I don't, and the Lynn Pair thing didn't bother me all that. It really didn't.
No, me neither. I just like making comments like that.
You just like being cynical.
I just like having players that that the fans love. We don't bring them back. Good thing we're bringing Luke Rogers back. Nope, not.
Hey, can't blame Red Bull for that.
That's Homeland Security.
Yeah. He's still waiting outside of the U.S. Embassy with like a boombox over his head, playing "America the Beautiful," hoping.
He's wearing a trench coat and waving a tiny American flag.
Yeah, a single tear rolling down his face.
So here's a question: if the previous regime was so good at spending money, how come they couldn't spend money on Luke Rogers' visa?
Because
How come
the
we couldn't
U.S.
get Belushi into
government,
Canada?
because the U.S. government cannot be bought. That's why. If there is any that is noble and true in this world, it is the government of the United States of America.
We truly
Especially
are
in the great state of New Jersey.
Exactly. No dirty
Okay.
money in this state.
All right, once again, I want to remind everybody our phone lines are open 973-679-4541 and on Skype, Red Bull Rant.
I refuse
Someone in the
to
chat room said-
continue the show until Jimmy Gates calls in.
So someone in the chat room, the boombox was actually playing a song by Fishbone and not
Yes.
Peter Gabriel.
I like the how does Red Bull not have ties in the government, and I agree because they sell that poison, and somehow don't get sued. They must have some ties in the government.
They
I
were able
remember
to
when
close
Red Bull-
down. I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say
Jeff.
they were able to close down not Red Bull's the soccer team, but Red Bull in general is able to close down 2 lanes of the Lincoln Tunnel just so they can have their F1 car drive through at 190 miles an hour. How can we not get Luke Rogers back?
Or get Belushi into Canada.
I'm
Not-
sure.
Bluetooth's
they
not a
can't-
problem anymore.
I don't think they cared about Belushi. Oh, you can't come? Oh, that's a shame. Guess what? I have to leave you, buddy.
Ain't Belushi
Okay.
just marry somebody so he can go to Canada?
I
Yep.
believe, yeah, good for him. I like Mehdi. We give him, we kid because we love. I'm.
From everything I heard, he was a good person.
He loved.
Hey,
Red
the man
Bull.
did wipe out. The man did wipe out.
Yes.
That's all you need to know.
Okay.
All
Bring
right,
Maddie
and we
back.
have, and once he connects, we have. Oh, apparently he's not doesn't want to talk to us anymore. So we got our previous guest Eric Giacometti sent us a request on Skype, and then wouldn't answer when I called him. So thank you very much, Eric.
Go to hell.
Eric's the dirt worst.
That's a getting lawless back then. We gotta spice shit up.
He probably would come back. He was very willing to be here for a whole hour last week. Unfortunately, the tech issues were the problem.
Can we
Alright,
just
we
say
got a
that
call.
those tech issues were not on us?
No, they weren't. But so now we got a call from area code 908. Who is this?
Hello! La, la, la.
How are you today?
Pretty fucking bored.
I hear you.
Hey, what's up, guys? This thing Tiago from Jersey.
What's up, Tiago?
Not much. Now, there's a rumor saying that John Wally might be another assistant coach. How do you feel about that move? That's him being another assistant coach.
I'll say this about Wooly. If he does get an assistant coaching spot, he's deserved it because he's been with the team for a while, working his ass off with the young kids on the under 21 team. He certainly has his shit together when it comes to coaching. So I absolutely welcome him with open arms. You just get more of that New York connection, him and Pecky.
I mean, that was promised. Don't forget that. Like, part of the thing when the new guys came in, even before we were eliminated from the playoffs, was that we get it, want to have connection with the local soccer community. Now we'll hear. Besides good faith, nothing. I appreciate that because if for no other reason, the other way of doing it didn't win anything. So now you're reaching out to fans. It's even the thing like Henry armband. I do appreciate these things as somebody who is a diehard fan. So and everything you said as well about, he's been around, he knows these kids. An assistant head coach, I like it a lot. And quite frankly, I can't think of another guy who would take the job that I would rather have there right now.
And how do you feel about Kaká 2013? Should we run a campaign?
Well, that's not going to happen. So,
I mean, I I already got the posters done. I thought we were gonna push them up around the Rebel Stadium, you know, try to get him over here.
I mean,
I don't know. I wouldn't want to see him here. He's a fucking, even though he's Brazilian like me, but he's another rapper, drama queen. I wouldn't want to see him here.
I think he's going to end up here. He's, you know, brother aside, he has a home in New York. And, you know, he if for no other reason, the Europeans, well, you know, and Andre have talked about how nice it is to be here, that they're not bothered as they are overseas. It's not going to happen this summer. We'll offer, he's not getting Beckham money. No one's getting Beckham money. Beckham, I wouldn't be surprised to see it in like 2014, 2015. But honestly, if it does happen in July or August, I will be completely bored because all indications are that it's not a conversation even that's happening right now, let alone a possibility.
And whatever happened to the little French African American guy that we bought from Paris Germain? Shit, I haven't seen him pitch. I haven't seen him in the list either. Everybody saying, "Oh, we bought someone from Paris Germain," and oh, this and that, and that. Nobody's seen him yet. Is he like a ghost? Is he like a Mateo type thing? I mean, where is he?
He might be right next to Luke Rogers with the with the boombox and the little American flag.
Yeah, that's another one. There's like Sao Paulo too. He's another one too that didn't get accepted too.
Yeah. I think it's the same deal as Paulo. It was just kind of like, yeah, we got him, and then it's like, oh no, we don't at all. So I think I heard he was with some team recently trying out or something, but I forget who. But it was overseas. It was over in France.
Yeah. Real Court, whatever that guy was, wasn't he on the trial list too? Or wasn't we supposed to get him too?
That was a rumor. That was never confirmed.
Oh, Nigel Rio. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that was. I think that was. I mean, from what I gathered, that was more coming from his side than from the United States. But regardless, it didn't happen, and he's not here. So, and he's not coming. He's not gonna. If that's our third DP, oh good lord. It's. I mean, when you really hype things up, money to pay a third DP, if that's it, I mean, boy, I wanted Stephen Ireland last year, and if they would do the moves they made now to bring in Ireland this summer, I'd be an unhappy fan.
Yeah, I mean, I would want the third DP as a midfielder, but who's out there right now? I mean, who's out there that can really sound sexy on the Rebel kit? Nobody.
Keep your eye out. I said it on from the Factory Floor podcast. This is personal opinion and based on two very loose conversations I had. It would not. I'm putting this on the low end of possibility and more on gut feeling. Put money on it as a fun thing and nothing else. Keep your eye out on Emmanuel Adebayor. Adebayor has wearing his welcome out at Tottenham every day. AVB is not catering the way that Harry Redknapp did or the States. He's got a connection with the captain of this team who's only going to be here. Crazy things have happened. Adebayor is a mercenary. If Red wants to throw enough money at him, and Spurs are ready to get rid of this guy, and
I mean, we have to have a million. We might as well give him that, make him happy. Who would want to take for $500,000 in New York? I'll put some feet on his book for $500,000. I don't know. I'm just. It's too soon to be making calls. It's too soon to be worrying about it. But today, from what I've seen, Lloyd Sands was just really pathetic. I mean, Peck called him a couple of times, telling him speed up, because he would just look at Peck and be like, huh? And I'm like, yo, you're supposed to be playing back and forth. He looked like didn't know what to say out there, and it kind of pissed me off. That's what Peck kept calling him out, and he just kept looking at him like, what am I doing now? You're not doing shit. That's the problem. You keep getting called on.
Yeah.
All right, Tiago, thanks for the call. We're going to let you go so you get some other people on.
All right, man.
Thanks,
Tiago. I think what we need to do we have to start crazy rumors on Twitter. I think it's our job to start spreading completely nonsensical player rumors. Let's not
I
make it
started
too
the
crazy. Let's,
rumor last winter, so I did my job on this one, gents. I need some help.
I think we can really crank up some good ones.
Leighton Baines.
The brother of Robin Van Persie. How about that? Does he have a brother?
That's true. We're good at getting
That's what we
brothers.
need. It has to be brothers.
All right, we got another call on the line. 313. Thanks for tuning in to the Red Bull Rant. What fake player rumor would you like us to start on Twitter?
I don't know, Kid Rock. I just want to say, first time caller, long time listener. Thanks for taking my call. And how awful was it that the best American yesterday was fucking Mark Geiger? Best fucking American performance yesterday. Fucking awful.
Almost as bad as the best distribution in the team coming from Jermaine Jones. And before that, against Canada, the best distribution came from Kyle Beckerman.
Yep.
When you put those together, it kind of tells you about how the game went.
Oh, this has been a great show, guys. Fucking fantastic.
We
Hey, what
try.
do you want us to do? There's no real games being played. We're giving it to you. We didn't even have to come on this week. We could have taken a week off, but no, we're representing.
I got
Should've
fucking
taken a
golf
week off.
on my TV. What do you expect? And it's a repeat. It's repeat golf.
Since we're not talking about soccer anyway, can we talk about my theme music?
Sure.
Theme
All right.
music.
Yeah. What
Uh-oh.
do you mean theme music? Anything
Well,
but stupid
call-ins
Kid Rock,
don't-
I'm good.
Collins don't get theme music. You have to be a guest to get theme music. So
Oh,
when-
I'm
if
your
we
only
have you
caller
back on
guest
as a
this.
if we have you back on as a guest, then you'll get some theme music.
What would your
That's how
theme
things
music
work.
request be?
I don't know.
How about
But,
Kesha?
you know, Detroit's not known for anything.
Should we just make it the sound of like gunfire and then broken down cars?
No, that's Chicago.
No, Chicago's just the sound of a fat guy eating a sausage.
Sausage.
Oh.
Bears.
I don't know. I got nothing.
This is
This is a shit show.
this is taking a turn, gentlemen.
Hi, Jimmy. We love you.
It's finally
Alright,
taking a
thanks,
turn.
guys.
Uh,
Go fuck yourself. Throw that in there.
this is the second
Bye, guys.
time. The second caller has told us that.
What?
Sorry, Jimmy. I thought you were done. I didn't actually mean to cut you off.
I mean, when he says "go fuck yourselves," I figured he was
Yeah,
finished.
that's how a call ends.
I like this one rumor that it's on Ustream. I heard Beckham is coming to Red Bulls after PSG and donating his salary to Landon Donovan.
What he should really donate is his hair.
Mm,
Oh,
Landon, Landon needs a little up top.
the balding eagle.
So, real quick, not a fake rumor, but since Tim had mentioned the ESC membership drive, since I'm a Viking Army member, I feel I have to say this. On the 23rd, at Kata's in Newark will be a Viking Army membership drive. So if you're interested in them, go there. I don't remember the exact time, but I know it's on the 23rd. So if you're interested, go there. And we have another caller, 732. Who's this?
You know who it is, cocksuckers. I don't appreciate all these callers getting on and saying, go fuck yourselves. That was my line, you bastards. Don't you steal it, you half-Canadian RoboCop cocksucking, no credible sports franchise having Midwestern fat housewife who happens to be named Jimmy.
Oh my!
I think this isn't Alexei Lawless calling back in to talk.
So young, so
think-
angry.
I think this is the first rant we had on this episode.
It's true. Also, by the way, go fuck yourselves.
I feel the love. I feel appreciated that we do this. Oh, somebody just put that next Saturday at Bellows is GSU's art auction, so we should plug that as well.
Sweet.
Yes,
Yeah.
might as well.
And I, on the other hand, will be holding a Pat McDonald membership drive where you can send me a check for money. I will cash it, and then maybe send you an autographed picture of me giving you a thumbs up.
I'm glad I
So-
can't send you a check in like cheese or anything. It's only in money. Thank you for clarifying that.
Only in money. I will not take a
I'm
check.
I'm gonna send
anything
you
else.
a boatload of Canadian pennies.
I'll be like, sink!
If anyone would like to send me a check, it has to be in giant check form, like when you win golf tournaments. Giant check form.
I'll take that too. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, and we should mention we're not. People are, I guess, hating on the Viking Army, but no one hates any of the supporters group. We love them all. But if we didn't joke around, this podcast would come to more of a grinding halt than it already has.
It's
No,
kind
I don't think it's actual hate on the Viking Army. Someone suggested that the new name should be the Portuguese Conquistadors for the Viking Army.
Which
So
is
he
kind
made
of
he
awesome.
made a it's kind of awesome. But you said it's not going to be a membership drive. It's going to be a rebranding party. I caught this. So that I think that's what he means by hate. It's not real hate, but or maybe hate for the name because where's the Viking influence now? What can you do? Anyway, phone line's still open 973-679-4541 or on Skype Red Bull Rant. And like this name, Pecky's Platoon out of the chat room.
Well, I like
That's
that
a
one,
great
too.
name for
That's a
a
good one.
group.
How about Woolies Bullies? We have 7 minutes to 11 o'clock. Let's just come up with group names. Mine was
So
Woolies
we went
Bullies.
So we went from fake rumors to fake supporters groups.
Yep, Woolies Bullies. That's mine.
Filler, and more filler.
Who can come up with a better one? How about TT's Tatas? That's the ladies group. Tim said Fraser's Freaks.
That's ballers.
That's my favorite so far.
Dave
Dave Bonteens Ballers. That gets a win from young Timothy.
Roxy's Rockers. Roxy's Moxie Army.
I mean, we can't do the Rockers because we know that they're going to break up and someone's going to have to go through a glass window, and no one wants that. I mean,
On the
I
barbershop.
really I don't need Marty Jannetty hunting me down with his bad knees.
I'm saying.
And if you do it in some ironbound barbershop, you're like, hey, why you go through my window in my barbershop? And you're like, oh, come on, man.
I'm not going to lie. I don't think that's going to be the way that they talk at a barbershop in the Ironbound. I'm just
This
throwing it
is-
out there.
Whatever. They're all Italian in my mind.
Yeah.
Stop Italian.
What
No,
about
that-
the Not
I
South
answered
Ward?
Not.
I think you have to
Yeah,
say
the Not
Knights
South
of the
Ward.
Rocks.
You know what the show desperately needs? We need to have not Hans Baka on here to come up with since Viking Army was named in Hans Baka's honor. It would be only fitting if not Hans Baka renamed the Viking Army.
And that he reveal himself.
He doesn't even have to do that. He just go in the chat. That'd be great.
Oh, I like that idea. Are you
You know, I
listening
think
now,
this
Hans
show needs-
Baka? We know you are.
Let's call them the Maeve Dartinezes.
Maves and Mavens.
Speaking
Yes.
of which, I think this
Oh
calls
God,
for a little
no.
Dave Martinez action. Though. No, he hasn't called us, but what do you think about us calling him? He's online. We could do it.
Wait, Maeve's on. We know Maeve is online.
Yes, he is.
Oh, this could be just golden rated. This would be a good way to wrap things up, is have Maeve
this
Dartinez
would-
cut a promo.
It'd be a great 5 minutes.
If they were
Looks like
bombing
he's
my
not gonna take the
editor.
call though.
Man,
Maeve-
Maeve. I wonder if Maeve could ramble on incoherently and boringly for 5 straight minutes. I don't know that he could.
Well, we've been doing it for about a half hour, so he could probably do it 5 minutes.
You guys are just trying to get me fired from the Empire side,
Pretty much.
aren't you?
Fired from non-paying jobs. Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about? Who, Maeve Martinez has something to do with Empire of Soccer?
Yeah, he sabotages it nonstop.
Ah, he trolls it.
Well, it looks like Maeve is not, even though he's online, he's not ready to take our call because he's not answering. So
He's
we'll give
skirt.
up on that for
Maeve
now.
is skirt.
Leave the
Yeah,
poor man
Maeve.
alone.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably just has better things to do.
He probably has a life.
Well, according to Dave, I'm not sure if he knows about Maeve, but at least for Dave Martinez, this is past his bedtime apparently.
Yeah.
It's past my bedtime too. I told the guys beforehand that I was leaving at 10:30, and yet here I am to get ridicule from Tim Hall.
You should know better.
Yeah, I probably should.
Let's see here. Let's see what my email says. Oh, I've been fired from the Empire Soccer. Great.
All right. Well, with Pat getting fired, I think that's a good point to wrap this show up. What do you guys think?
Yes, for the love of God, end the misery.
Jesus, yeah, this we've had better nights, gents.
It's called No Games to Talk About.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
real quick. Do you guys want to break down the African Cup of Nations final? Because I know I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I am too. Another good news. Also, no one was murdered there yet. So.
Again, are you
But
sure
I said
about
yet.
that?
I said yet.
Are you sure?
Not yet.
Have you been keeping up with the daily news? Because you don't know.
Half the stadium has not been engulfed in fire yet. So.
I kind of gave up on the African Cup of Nations after I saw like so many 0-0 boring draws where people were just whiffing from 2 yards out, and I was just like, all right, I'm sick of this. I don't know if it got better, but
I'll only pay attention when Djibouti gets in the finals. Then I'm in. I'm all about Djibouti. I love Djibouti. I think we all love Djibouti.
who doesn't love Djibouti?
I love Djibouti.
Djibouti. Djibouti.
I disagree with what Tim posted about my calling Maeve's skirt being the whitest moment in podcasting history. The past 10 seconds was the whitest moment in podcasting history.
Talking about Djibouti.
I'm
Good
pretty
Lord.
sure if it wasn't the last 10 seconds, I'm responsible for it at some point in the last however many episodes we're doing.
That's right, guys. The next big announcement is that Red Bull Rant is now sponsored by Gap. So there you go.
An American Eagle.
We're going to be wearing some khaki next week, baby.
And some
I
polo.
can't wait for games to start because this is just dreadful stuff, folks. And if you made it through an hour, you're a better person than am I. So thumbs up to you.
Good news. Next week's Valentine's Day, and we will not be on.
We will not be doing a show.
Instead, we'll all be
Speaking
just
of
sitting
that,
at home crying.
we have. Speaking of not doing a show, at the moment we're planning not to do a show until the 28th, which will be our season preview show. Maybe if the mood strikes us in somewhere in those 3 weeks, we'll do another one. But for now, the plan is we won't have anything to do until. For now, we won't be doing a show until the season preview. So to wrap up, before this gets any worse than it already has been, visit our website at redbullrant@wordpress.com. Our email address is redbullrant@gmail.com. Our phone number for during the week, where you can leave us voicemails, is 973-348-5329. On Skype, our username is redbullrant. It's all one word. On Facebook, facebook.com/redbullrant. Also follow us on Google+. On Twitter, the show's handle is @redbullrant. Mine is @DrStooge. Pat's @PMacD82. Truman's @TheTruman. And Zach is @ZachWassink. And as always, you can follow us on or subscribe to the show on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. Stitcher audio only at this point. Any last thoughts before we go?
Djibouti.
I'm totally not retweeting this episode.
Zach?
All kidding aside, everyone stay safe this weekend. Supposedly roads are gonna get real bad and all that good crap. So
Yeah, for crying out loud, hunker down.
hunker down and get a if you're lucky to live in the Hoboken area, at least I know of 2 places that still have Christmas ales, so thumbs up for them. And if you can't get some winter ales for 10 to 14 inches of snow, well then, what the hell's the point of living? I guess get a bottle of Jack Daniels and down it until you pass out on the floor, like any grown man should do.
Get some milk and eggs, because that's what everybody always gets
I
when it
guess.
snows for some reason. You know.
And salt if you have a driveway, because don't want to trip and fall.
Actually,
Anyway.
quite excited to use the snowblower. We didn't get to use it at all last winter because it was the warmest winter ever.
So one last thing for me before we go. We got a new follower on Facebook. Or it's not Facebook, on Twitter. Wow. That's a... it's at not Andy Roxburgh.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Because what would Twitter be without another not account for the Red Bulls?
I hope the not account is just nothing but quotes from Braveheart.
I would be fine with this.
So excited when Braveheart was on at the gym today. I was like, yes! What?
All right,
Can't get
so-
any worse. I might as well rant about the Braveheart.
Right.
Very true.
Jesus.
But for all of us here at Red Bull Rant, this was episode number 46. Thank you for tuning in, and go Red Bulls.
Happy
Djibouti.
Valentine's Day.
Peace.
Djibouti.